Somewhere between Kubrick's 2001 and Alien's face-hugging nightmares, a glorious void existed, stuffed with zero-budget space epics, mullets that defy gravity, and sound effects that seem borrowed from malfunctioning microwaves. Welcome to the forgotten sci-fi horror underworld of the 1970s, where ambition exceeded budget, and logic was optional. Today, we're warping into 5 movies you probably missed unless your VHS collection is sentient and whispering to you at night. So hit that like button like it's a self-destruct sequence, comment your favorite space-age disaster piece, and subscribe unless you want to be vaporized by a rubber alien named Steve. Grab your ray gun and buckle up. These cult classics are more radioactive than a thrift store lightsaber. Okay, imagine Carrie had a baby with Close Encounters, but it was raised exclusively on gas station burritos and resentment. That's Laserblast. Released in 1978 by Charles Band. Yes, the future puppet master guy. This movie stars a moody teen who discovers a mysterious alien weapon in the desert. Within days, he's melting cops, frying bullies, and mutating like a mood ring with a grudge. The laser cannon fuses to his arm, turning him into a kind of extraterrestrial Punisher with the dermatology of a pizza box. The transformation scenes are equal parts tragic and hilarious. Think The Fly, but with less Cronenberg and more confusion.
This could all be happening right now, somewhere on this planet. It's the story of a UFO that has landed and visitors from a galaxy light years away. It's an adventure unlike anything on this planet. A weapon that might belong to us in the future, but is here now. It's the story of the boy who found it and the girl who tried to help him. And a world that tried to take it away.
They didn't know I knew it.
I want the town sealed off.
Laserblast. It will blow your mind.
This is what happens when someone watches Star Wars once, forgets half of it, and decides to remake it with wine-fueled confidence. Directed by Luigi Cozzi, Star Crash features a leather bikini space heroine named Stella Star, played by Bond girl Caroline Munro. A gold-plated robot with a cowboy accent. A space battle that looks like an acid trip in a Christmas ornament factory. And a pre-Baywatch David Hasselhoff wielding a glowing sword like a backup dancer for Queen. It's so magnificently off the rails, you'll start to question your grasp on reality. But that's Star Crash's secret sauce. It's a mess, but it's a glorious sparkling mess. Bonus nugget. Composer John Barry, yes, the James Bond guy, scored this movie. He probably spent years trying to forget that.
Has created a weapon so vast, so huge, that it would take a whole planet to conceal it. Our galaxy is split into 2 warring factions.
Before Mad Max took over the apocalypse, there was Deathsport. It stars David Carradine in what looks like the result of losing a dare with his agent. Picture motorcycles with transparent domes, laser swords made of fluorescent tubing, and gladiators who fight in a post-nuke wasteland where everyone speaks in philosophical soundbites. Carradine plays Kaz O'Shea, a Death Ranger, forced to fight for his life in a futuristic blood sport, basically Thunderdome with fewer rules and more visible zippers. Behind the scenes, it was chaos. Carradine allegedly drank his way through the production. The script was rewritten mid-shoot, and the budget couldn't buy a toaster, let alone a special effect. But somehow, this casserole of neon violence still manages to be weirdly compelling, like watching a flaming dumpster roll downhill while reciting Nietzsche.
You are condemned to Deathsport.
It's a future war on wheels fought astride high-powered death machines with blasters and laser guns. Deathsport. David Carradine and Claudia Jennings are super warriors.
I am my only master.
There are no Olympic Games, World Series, or Super Bowls. There is only David Carradine conquers the Deathsport.
This Japanese Star Wars knockoff is like if Akira Kurosawa directed Power Rangers on a dare. Message from space is what happens when you combine magic walnuts, rocket-powered sailing ships, space samurai in chrome armor, and a drunk Vic Morrow who clearly thought he was in a different movie. There is almost no plot. Something about saving a peaceful planet from an evil empire using chosen warriors summoned by glowing acorns hurled into space like desperate resumes. It's colorful, and it has a certain charm that only a movie with space battles choreographed like kabuki theater can deliver. It was Japan's most expensive film at the time. Somewhere, a producer is still explaining that to his accountant.
Message from space. A phantasmagoria of sights, sounds, and space-age technical achievements that must be seen to be believed. An international cast headed by Vic Morrow.
I buried my career in orbit with Babel 1.
Message from space, where fantasies are real and reality is fantastic. Never before has the screen erupted with more spectacle, more excitement. Message from space.
Yes, this was technically a TV pilot turned theatrical release. But listen, this deserves the top spot purely for its audacity. When NBC tried to reboot the 1930s pulp hero, they gave us a Buck Rogers who wears tighter pants than a sausage casing, flirts like a space-age lounge singer, and fights villains who look like rejected Kiss backup dancers. The film drops Buck, Gil Gerard, into a world 500 years in the future, where Earth is run by an AI named Dr. Theopolis, who looks suspiciously like a wall clock, and his robot pal Tweaky, whose voice is part R2-D2 and part chain-smoking cab driver. This movie is 70s excess distilled into sci-fi. The soundtrack slaps. The wardrobe sparkles. And the tone is somewhere between Barbarella and a roller disco hosted by Isaac Asimov. The villain, Princess Ardala, basically spends the movie trying to seduce Buck in increasingly revealing outfits, because who needs world domination when you have intergalactic thirst?
In the year 1987, at Cape Kennedy, NASA launched the last of America's deep space probes. A lone astronaut, Captain William Buck Rogers, was to experience cosmic forces beyond all comprehension. trajectory was disrupted by an explosion. Buck was frozen by elements so instantaneous and perfect that he was fully preserved and living when found by the forces of the Draconian army.
Where am I?
You were aboard the King's flagship Draconia, under command of the Royal Princess Ardala, on its way to Earth on a peace mission.
Oh. Are you a real-life princess?
We're going home.
Great. Where's that?
On Earth.
All right.
This is quite a setup.
It's Colonel Daring, commander of Earth's defenses.
Captain Buck Rogers, you are now in the 25th century.
I think I will have that right now.
What are you doing?
It's called getting down. It's a little before your time. Ships, they simply explode. That's impossible!
Captain, you stay out of this.
Try and stop me.
Captain Rogers, I ordered you to stay out of this.
Colonel, you need all the help you can get. Watch out, Major, on your tail.
Buck Rogers in the 25th century. From Universal Pictures.
So there you have it. 5 slices of vintage sci-fi horror absurdity that time tried to bury but couldn't quite kill. Whether you're in it for the laser battles, the crazy storytelling, or the inexplicable robot cowboys, these films remind us that imagination doesn't need a budget, it just needs conviction, and maybe a fog machine. Which one blew your mind the hardest? Got your favorite forgotten space flick? Drop it in the comments. Bonus points for anything with glowing swords or sentient toasters. And hey, don't warp away just yet. Hit that like button like it's a malfunctioning cyborg, subscribe for more movie oddities, and beam yourself over to our movie playlists. Until next time, keep your blasters charged and your movies weird.